What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we have quite a lot to talk about. Now, look, yesterday's thing, I knew it was a 50-50 shot, and I don't want to come across, I want to make this very, very apparent. I don't want to come across as if I'm complaining or, begging even, let's say, to get, the strike removed or whatever. But what you should know, the short of it is we predicted yesterday that there was a 50-50 shot talking about Wonder Woman in the way that I did, that I would get a copyright strike, the video would be taken down, and they did it. And honestly, I'm not even all that mad. Like, a strike is a strike, and it'll be removed in 90 days or whatever. I don't put myself up close to that line, so I highly doubt I'm gonna get two more in that time because I just don't really do that stuff. And really, this is a WB issue, and that's what I want to talk about. It's kind of two different parts to this. Number one, I would say from my point of view, the frustration for Wonder Woman specifically. Then we got to talk about WB and their terrible practices with doing these copyright strikes, right? For the Wonder Woman thing, well, number one, the stuff I said in that video was entirely positive. And that's important, not because like I'm sucking up to them or, anything like that, but they need that kind of stuff. Now, look, I'm not a big time guy or anything, but they are in such a situation with Suicide Squad with really nothing else. Gotham Knights was pretty okay, before it, but it was kind of like a blimp on the radar, right? And it went away. They need positivity. They need something. And specifically for Wonder Woman, they need literally freaking anything. So it's just funny to me that, well, a couple things. Like, number one, the video was entirely positive. You would think they would be fine with that. Number two, and this maybe goes into the more of like the legal stuff. The part that was the problem was less than a minute of the video. They could have just said, hey, can you take that part out? Or, hey, can you take the video down? You don't need to copyright strike it. So, again, I'm not begging for it. I'm not even going to do a counter notification or anything. I'm just, I kind of laughed. Like, as soon as I saw it, I kind of laughed and said, again, that's more like the legal side. They could have just handled it a different way. But for the Wonder Woman side, again, you would think they would want positivity. And also the frustration from my end is simply the game is becoming a laughingstock. I actually have to be real with that. Now, I'm still excited for it. Every time we talk about it, and I would say the comments, and I don't even think the comments are 50-50. I don't even want to give them that kind of positivity anymore. The comments, honestly, are like 60, maybe even 70% negative, or just very uncertain. I guess the reverse side of things of that, right, is that there's very little actual positivity. Now, not to say you have to, again, get on your knees and bow down, but literally from the wider internet, there's not a lot of huge positivity on this game. I think WB has killed so much interest, and it's killed so much trust in people. Now, I have actually sincerely always been excited for it. I think there's definitely ways it can go wrong, but I'm excited to see the Nemesis system in work again, all of this stuff, right? I'm pumped. And also, obviously, it's not Monolith, so it's like these people that are working hard on the game, they don't have anything to do with it, right? But staying in that, area, it's becoming, like I said, a laughingstock. The game was shown almost 3 years ago, and I was the one. In fact, I made a video. It's aged really badly. I made videos talking about how I think the game is closer than people think it is. I remember, making those, titling it, all that jazz, and I was very, very wrong on that, right? As we talked about, I don't know what in God's name, and this actually does go to Monolith, I don't know what in God's name they've been doing since they did Shadow of War. I find it very hard to believe they immediately went from Shadow of War to Wonder Woman, but also this practice of like showing your game once, doing it in the smallest way possible, like even compared to, Kingdom Hearts 4 might be a good case for this as well, but Kingdom Hearts 4, it was like a meaty 4-minute trailer. Now, it didn't necessarily show gameplay, but it showed a lot, and you can theorize and speculate a lot from it. About 4 minutes, and yeah, it'll probably be like 4 years after that we get the next trailer for it. But Wonder Woman was the most teaser of teaser trailers, gives you absolutely nothing. I think it's like less than maybe like 30 seconds long or something, right? And we're approaching 3 years, and we've gotten absolutely nothing. And then when we do get something, official, they strike it down. They don't want you talking about it. Sometimes the artwork will sneak through, like that first artwork thing that happened. That was like like on an official page, they left that up. We found the job postings that indicated the game might have microtransactions. They let that go because like everybody's talking about it. So that's the frustration that comes from me is sheer, I don't even know what you want to call it. Like they have no idea what they're doing in that department. And whether that's Monolith or WB, I've said this before, I'm tired of games being shown and they don't get shown again for 3, 4, 5 years. I think it's laughable, and I think it's an embarrassment. And I think Wonder Woman is becoming, and we're not going to shy away from it, even though I'm excited for it, even though I've said positive things, I will continue to say positive things. I'm not going to shy away from that specific element of this. It's a complete embarrassment. And it's not exclusive to WB. Star Wars Eclipse has done it. Kingdom Hearts 4 is doing it right now. You have actually several games. BioShock is maybe the most laughable of them all, but it's not a good look. Like, you don't want to do that, and for whatever reason, that's happened. And then again, like, the frustration is then when something actually does happen, and we've gotten very, very few like actual things you can talk about, and then when you think you maybe can get away with talking about something, they take it down. So that's that part. We need to see something. We need to see something official. We're done with this, this stupid era that we're in for Wonder Woman. We need official game information, and we need it soon. And we've been saying that, but obviously it doesn't seem like they care. And you know what? The thing is, like, you can say, well, it's just your opinion versus like what they think. Again, I would say to the wider internet, they are losing people. And I think that is something you've got to remember, and they've got to remember, and I don't think they care. And that is what's laughable about it. That's what the sheer incompetence of them. That's what I think that I'm looking at in this situation. It's, you could say, well, this, that, or, just wait for official stuff to come out. If you really look at it, and again, like you can see, I think Suicide Squad really, really hurt them. And it might not be fair because Monolith versus Rocksteady, but people do not trust them. And really we shouldn't. We should not trust. Really the gaming industry should always be an industry of proving it. Now, sometimes developers or publishers have a little bit more trust than others, right? Like when you're shown a game for, I'll go first. Giant Sparrow, which is a smaller indie team, they made Unfinished Swan, What Remains of Edith Finch, two of my favorite games of all time. When they do their next game, they have immediate trust from me. But it's not like that for everybody, right? It depends on really your last outing or your last couple outings. And sometimes the publisher gets wrapped up in it. Ubisoft is kind of the entire thing, right? They make one mistake in one game. Even if it's a different franchise, you hold that against it because it's Ubisoft. It's the same thing here. WB, not Monolith. WB has lost trust, and you can see that. So for them to just sit there and say, 3 years, we can go 3-4 years without showing you it. We can strike people down for talking positively about it. No big deal. No, it is a big deal, and I don't think they realize it yet. Now, is it easy to win people over? Yeah, make a good game. But there's no guarantee Wonder Woman is a good game. Just like there's no guarantee, or there wasn't, Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights, and they really don't have anything else, outside of that in the DC universe, right? So that's one side of it. The other side, just really quickly to throw it in from the YouTube side and the legal side. Well, I already mentioned it briefly, but I just don't things have got to change in that department. The biggest thing, again, not begging, not pleading for my life, anything like that. The biggest thing that just shocks me is, well, number one, it was an online survey. So it's like, the survey could have been given to me. I could have seen it and I could just post it. I don't understand, why that actually is such a big deal. I purposely didn't show the artwork. Number two, I literally, because I thought it could happen, right? I thought it was a 50-50 shot. I structured the video to literally have, like an intro, the reading of it, and then the reaction to it. Like, it was literally a 3-part. It was the most basic 1, 2, 3. And again, like the part where I actually read it was like a minute or so long. Why? And this goes to, again, this is the YouTube legal side. How can they have so much power to, again, I'm not worried. It's 1 strike. You need 3 to terminate the channel. I don't, put myself up against that line. So it's not going to happen. But say you were on 2 strikes already, then you did this, your channel is literally gone. I think that's kind of the biggest problem, right? Where it's like strikes are very serious. And while it might not be as serious to me as somebody would say 2 strikes already, it's still a serious thing. And for YouTube, look, WB, that is scum material. It really is scum material to do something like that. But if you're looking at the YouTube side, why do you allow it to get to that extreme, right? Because all you have to do is email and say, hey, you could even do this. Hey, we're taking the video down, because it happened overnight. It happened at 2 a.m. or whatever. We're taking the video down, but you're not getting a strike. They have a problem with you reading this thing, right? It's 1 minute long. They have to explain. It's 1 minute long. you have to take that out. If you take it out, you can put the video back up. If you don't take it out, I guess then maybe you can threaten a strike, right? Like, that's how I would do it. That's how I would approach it. And that's literally not how it approaches it. They don't have to give, they didn't even say which part of the video was wrong. Obviously, you kind of know, right? But they don't have to say anything. They just take the video down and they give you, and again, like that's the stuff that I think makes them so hateable, or so even I guess the reverse, unlikable. They really are. They're, as a company, as a corporation, and this is the thing too. This is why I'm not like pleading for my life or begging. They've gone after people for doing solely positive things and doing a whole lot less than even what I did. Right? There have been times, and again, this is something that I thought I could maybe get away with because it was an online survey. I didn't think it was that bad. I figured you could just take the part out where I actually showed it, and avoid a strike. Like, literally, that was my mentality. But there's been examples where people will not even read the leak. They'll just discuss it. They won't show it. They won't read it like word for word, and they'll still get a copyright strike. That is misusing the system. It is. And I mean, honestly, there should be like legal action taken against WB, and it's always WB. Suicide Squad had this issue. There was a lot of times that popped up. And again, that's why I'm not going to go crazy. There were people that were even more positive. They were trying to spread maybe an even better word that did less than me in terms of showing stuff, right, or reading things word for word. Happened all the time for Suicide Squad, and they got copyright strikes. And you see it on Twitter and all that stuff. Like, they get the strikes immediately for like the artwork and whatnot. It kind of connects, right? It's puzzling because it's like you're spreading good word, and although it came out early or whatever. Here's the thing, because we're not going to go back into what the the thing said, but it wasn't all that new info. Like, that was a big part of the video that we talked about. A lot of it was like we talked about the Nemesis system and stuff. Like, a lot of that stuff was not new. So even this part that they were so mad about and they took down, it's not even new information. It was either speculated or it was confirmed or it was the patent on the Nemesis system, which we made the video on. Like, that is out there. That you can't get rid of that stuff. So that's the part that, whatever you want to say, like, frustrates, upsets. I'm not like absolutely furious. Like, I think it's more funny than anything. And again, there was obviously a situation where it could have happened, and it did. But it's puzzling to me because you got the positivity angle, and you have, well, if you're not going to show Wonder Woman, like, why can't people freaking talk about it? But on the other side of things, it's the misusing of the YouTube copy. I mean, really, it is. And like, that is a big issue. And I don't know why seemingly only they, in terms of the gaming publishers, they get away with so much stuff, right? Like, they can just do this, and I just don't think it's fair. And I don't think also they think through how big of a deal it actually is. Like, just doing, a silly old copyright strike, it's not like a small deal. Like, this is, for people that this is their livelihood, or or whatever, even if it's not your livelihood, you get 3 strikes. So, like, you did one just because you felt like it. When, again, you could say, well, Alex, you did this, you did that. Sure. Why? And this is what I said to even people on Twitter. Alex, you put yourself out there. You did it. That's correct. But specifically to that last point, which I think is my best defense, why is it a system where they can just do that? Why isn't it a system where you have a little bit more communication, a little bit more understanding, where they say, look, we really don't want that picture out there, so you take that down. We watched the video. It's like a 5-minute video. We know you only showed it for like a minute. The rest was your opening, funny opening, and then you have like the ending where you're talking about it. You can have that, but you can't have the part where you actually show it. Can you just take the video down? We don't really feel comfortable with the information. We're not going to strike you. Can you take it down? You got like 10 hours. If you don't do it, then we're going to strike you. But, you got like 10 hours. Why isn't that a thing? That's my biggest defense. Why can't you do that? Now, like, are the systems necessarily in place? Well, they can email. They have like the contact information. They can take it down or request to take it down without doing the strike, and then just communicate in the back end and say, hey, here's the situation. Why can't they do that? And I mean, like, that's a YouTube with whoever the company is situation, and I'm sure that happens all over the place. But for gaming, WB is like one of, if not the biggest ones. You think to like Ubisoft is the punching bag of the industry? They are some of the nicest people on planet Earth. They let you do whatever, say whatever. They could care less. They maybe take it as feedback, WB, they don't, Nintendo's pretty bad. There's a couple that are bad, but WB, I mean, in my experience, WB is the absolute worst. Like, without even a shadow of a doubt, they are the worst. And that's embarrassing. Like, I would be embarrassed if I were them. And then clearly, again, they don't care. But you know what? They're not in the greatest spot economically for the future. The gaming division, I mean, they're not doing amazing either. So it's like, besides Hogwarts Legacy, which, we talked quite highly of on the channel, again, like, you would think they would want the positives. I can help them, I think, with I can't help them, sell 50,000 copies of Wonder Woman, but I can get you a couple hundred, couple thousand, maybe even. I really think I can. So, I feel like you would look to somebody, not just me. There's thousands, right? But like in this situation, which is a very, personal situation, you would think you could work with me, and then we could maybe both help each other out. I don't know. I don't know. That's maybe the smart thing to do, and they don't really do that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.